Hey, welcome back. This is Rick with the HD Vibe channel. If you're new here, I would ask that you please subscribe. If you like this content or go back and see some of my other videos, please like. And also hit that bell icon and you will get notified whenever I put up a new video. My channel, just to give you a little background, it's new. I just started this a month or so ago, and everything is going to be about Harley-Davidson related content. Obviously HD, standing for Harley-Davidson. As you can see, I'm a fan of Harley-Davidson products, accessories, clothing, and obviously, ultimately, the bikes. I do have two Harley-Davidson touring motorcycles. I have this 2019 Road King Special, and then behind the camera I have a 2015 Street Glide Special. So if you've seen some of my videos, welcome back. Today I want to talk about a product that I recently purchased and arrived within the last couple of days that is going to be for this Road King Special. And it is actually a new seat. As you can see over here on the wall, I have a number of seats. So the first one is the stock seat for my Street Glide Special. That one is the original. I've probably ridden on that seat for over 20,000 miles. The next one is a Harley Hammock seat, which is actually heated. And actually the rider portion and the passenger portion of that seat has separate controls. I purchased that again for longer rides, as well as obviously in the winter to heat, and also so that Ms. HD Vibe can ride comfortably when I do ride on the Street Glide Special. And then the last one actually is an item I picked up off of eBay. That is actually a takeoff from a Ultra Limited, and that seat is actually very plush. I usually, again, use that for two-up riding and in the summertime when I don't need heat. That one actually pushes me up a little bit farther, closer to the tank and the controls, which is good, obviously, for slow speed maneuvers. And then on the Road King here Special, I have still the stock seat. This bike has about 3,000 miles or so on it, 3,500. So not a lot of miles on this seat. But what I found on the Street Glide Special, I started getting pressure points and a little bit of pain in my tailbone. And my belief is, one, the padding on these is not very thick and not very stiff. In addition to, obviously, the pan of the seat is made out of, if anybody has taken their seat off, their stock seat off their Harley, knows it's basically plastic and it's very flexible. So I did a little bit of research looking at other seat options. For this bike, I wanted to get something a little bit more performance look oriented. This bike is all blacked out for the most part. I have a few chrome pieces here and there. But it is, from my perspective, it's a very stealthy, a bad looking bike, all blacked out. And so I wanted something that's a little bit performance look. I haven't done anything to the engine, so the engine's not upgraded. It is the 114, so it does run pretty well. I've changed out the slip-ons to give a little more aggressive sound versus the stock pipes. So I have done that. Not sure if I'll do any upgrades to the engine, maybe someday. But for now, we're talking about the seat. And I wanted to get the seat to match the look of the bike, but also be comfortable and kind of give that performance bagger look. So without further ado, I just opened this up today. So you're seeing it as I am for the most part. So this is the seat I decided to go with. This is the San Diego Customs Pro Series seat by Saddlemen. I haven't seen many videos or reviews of this particular seat. It is a little pricey, but I think for what you get with this seat, I think it's well worth it. I ordered this seat from West End Motorsports online, and actually, to my surprise, when I put the item in my cart, I actually was given a 5% discount off of Saddlemen's list price on this seat. And the shipping was free, And obviously I think they're in Pennsylvania and I'm in Missouri, so there was no sales tax that was charged with the transaction. So I'm all about saving money, so I saved about 5%, which is not huge in the grand scheme of things, but every little bit helps. So just looking at this seat, it's very slim through here, so I think what it's going to do is give better, those of us who may have shorter leg length. I have a 32-inch inseam, roughly 31 and a half. This will put you closer to the ground, I believe, so it is very tight in here. It does have gripper material on this backrest, which I have in. I'll show you what it looks like without. And then there's gripper material here. I believe this diamond stitch, it has some grip to it as well. Again, you can configure this if you order it from Saddlemen directly. You can configure the stitching colors, I think, as well as the logo, which right there it says Saddlemen. I just went with black. And then the San Diego Customs logo, which I think is pretty cool. This is a rubberized, so weatherproof logo that's on there, and that's in white. And then there's this patch that goes over if you want to ride without the backrest. That covers it, Velcros on. It has the logo as well. This is the backrest. So I went with the backrest because I understood from a little bit of reading it pushes you a little bit more forward in the seat. So I went with that. I can't get it off at the moment, but I will, when I get it on, I will show you what it looks like without that. So let's take the stock seat off now, and then we'll get the San Diego Customs. Obviously, removing a seat is very simple, so I'm not going to go in detail. Obviously, loosen your nut or your screw in the back, and it just pops off. So that's the stock seat. Actually, we'll do a little comparison between the two. So here, obviously, the stock seat. This is plastic. This is not. It's stapled. It has a lot of flex. The foam is very mushy, if you will, not real thick. So I think that's where you begin, after you put a number of years and miles on these stock seats, they begin to sort of concave in the middle. You don't get as much support from the padding any longer. So yeah, so this one is, again, I said not too bad. I don't have that many miles in the seat on this one. But now to compare to the Saddlemen San Diego Custom Pro Series. So obviously this is carpeted. This is solid. I'm not sure if it's made out of fiberglass. I think it is fiberglass. This is all riveted to hold the stitching and the material on. No staples. Again, the diamond pattern, the gripper material, you have the ability to configure the color scheme if you like. I've seen some people that have red bikes, they'll get red stitching and red stitching here, but since this is black, I went with all black. And then the only thing you really have to do is this bracket is actually flipped this way, along with a rubber gasket or nut or a washer that was connected to it. So you flip it around and just use an Allen key and then retighten that in. So that's the seat. I think a pretty good look, very sleek looking, and I think going to be pretty comfortable. So I'm going to slip it on here. So you're seeing this as I'm doing it for the first time. So let's see, get that. And then I have the rubber washer, which is this. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it's basically to protect the paint. And then I will put my thumb screw back in here. I think also you can get, I'm not sure with 100% certain, but I think you get some thumb screws or screws that are more protective in terms of, so people just can't steal your expensive seat off your bike. So here's the backrest. That's how it comes out. There's a slot here. There is adjustments, a couple of adjustments. It comes with this pin that slips in if you want it to sit slightly up off of the seat. You just put the pin in through there and that will stop it. But for me, I will probably run it, if I run with the backrest, with it in the all the way down position. Again, this is the logo patch that covers that. If you're running without, it just basically Velcros on like this and push it down and you are set, and then waterproof as well. So that's that. So I will, as I look at this seat, it's much narrower. It does show some of your rails, which, you know, the stock seat doesn't. You have a little bit more of a view here of the tank, which I'm going to have to clean. It's very dirty. And, but yeah, I think it looks very sleek, very performance look. So I'm going to get on this without the backrest and see what it feels like, and kind of give you my first impressions. You're experiencing this with me as well. So it feels very comfortable, just sitting on it without any break-in. This is my first time sitting on it. I've heard Saddlemen seats from other lines are very stiff and take a while to break in, but this feels pretty good. I will say, getting in riding position here, it's probably pretty close to the same position as the stock seat in terms of how far I am up off the tank. This feels pretty good. I have shorter arms, so for slower speed maneuvers, I do like to be a bit closer to the tank. So, but this feels pretty good. So now I would say, yeah, this is going to be, I think, pretty comfortable, and I'm glad, because this obviously, I wasn't able to test this out anywhere. It could be a bit of an expensive experiment. So let's put this on, backrest. Make sure you have that tight. There we go. So that looks pretty good too. I think I like it in the down position versus kind of sitting up, although I think if it was sitting up, obviously it would give you a little more support, a little bit higher on your lower back. It definitely is sticky, so that's going to hold you in the seat. So let's get on here and try this out and see what we think. Yeah, that definitely, just sitting here, it definitely puts you more upright in terms of your riding position, and slightly pushes me forward, which again, I'm fine with that, because for slower speed maneuvering, I prefer to be closer to the bars, and this is just about perfect, because this bike, actually with the stock seat, I always felt as though I'm a little bit far away from the bars, and especially when you try to go to a full lock, it becomes a bit challenging. Again, I do have a shorter arm length. If you're familiar with dress shirt sleeve lengths, I typically take a 32 to 33. Most people would take about a 34 to 35 length. I am, just for reference, I'm about 5'10", and this seat feels very comfortable. I mean, I think it's a good riding position. It is soft, but as I said, the pan is very stiff, so I don't believe this will break down. It is narrow through here, close to the tank, which obviously, if you are shorter on the inseam, it's easier to get your legs all the way down. It doesn't push you out. So it's very comfortable from that perspective. And just for reference, again, I'm about a 31 or 32 inseam. So I'm not the tallest of guys, but I'm not the shortest of guys, probably about average or maybe just slightly below average on height. I do wear riding boots with a fair amount of heel, so that helps in terms of the sole and getting you a little bit more length to touch the ground. But yeah, I would say first impressions, this seat feels very comfortable. I don't think it's going to take much to break this in, if any. On my Street Glide, I actually put a new seat on it. It's actually Danny Gray Customs seat, and it's taken a little bit of time to break that one in. It hasn't been terrible, but it definitely has been an upgrade over the stock seat, which I talked about up there, which is a bit broken in. So first impressions, I think a great seat, very sleek looking. I like the look of it, and I think this is going to be a good seat for the long term, and as I go on rides and daily commute, and maybe even take some longer rides with this one. So I think it's going to be good. So with that, I think I'll wrap up talking about the seat. I do just want to mention the reason I'm wearing this particular shirt today is it is September the 3rd, 2021. And as many, I'm sure you know, we had 13 fallen heroes in Afghanistan. One of those are right here. He was from right here in almost my backyard. I'm in the St. Louis, Missouri area, actually just west of St. Louis in St. Charles County. He also was from this county, St. Charles County in Wentzville, Missouri. And we, I'm part of a group that rides, and we will probably be a part of that procession to lead our fallen hero from Wentzville to his final resting place, along with the Patriot Guard riders. Several of the members of my group are also Patriot Guard riders. So, also to wrap up, again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you gave you some insights into this Saddlemen San Diego Customs Pro Series seat. I think it's going to be very comfortable. I will follow up potentially with some ride reviews. Stay tuned to the channel. I have some videos coming out that will cover some of my travels. I'm fortunate that I get to travel with my day job, and I do get to travel outside the country. So recently I was over in Germany and Belgium, and so I had the opportunity to visit a couple Harley-Davidson dealerships in those countries. So I'll try to put a video together on that and kind of give you some review and some insights into some of these dealerships that are outside of the US. I've been to many dealerships really around the world, from Japan, Hong Kong, China, Brazil, and then obviously in Europe most recently. So give you some insights into that. So again, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate the support. Again, please subscribe if you haven't. Please like this video if you like this content, or check out my other videos.